I'm a 24-year-old full-time entrepreneur with a horrible attention span. I'm balancing a bunch of jobs, including writing my debut novel, and this is the exact system that I use to stay productive without burning out. I'm currently striving to finish the first draft of my novel by the beginning of April. So today I thought it would be fun to walk you through the productivity system that I use to get all of this done and balance work, life, and writing. So this system is made up of 4 main things: to-do list, calendar, my work app, and the brain dump. What I really love about this is that you can kind of apply these 4 areas, categories, things, whatever you want to call them, to a bunch of different apps. Because personally, if you're anything like me, you will use an app for an extended period of time and get tired of it. So I love this because I can apply it to whatever I want to try. I'm a big productivity nerd. So today I'll be showing you the 4 main apps that I use and love and swear by, which are all completely free. As a full-time entrepreneur running multiple businesses, my to-do list is literally my saving grace. And Notes app girlies, this is for you because it is time to convert. I have literally tried every to-do list app on the market. You name it, I 100% guarantee I have tried it. My favorite by far will always be Todoist. It is free. I believe there is a $5 subscription, which I do pay for every single month. The main thing that I love about Todoist is it has natural language input. So I can literally go on my phone and type in record video at 4 p.m. and it will literally like throw that in as a task to me. And so for me, I'm just somebody who, I come up with things on the fly. I think of things in the shower, in the car, I'm all over the place, in the gym. So when I think of something, I need to get it down. And the problem with my Notes app is that it just kind of gets lost if I don't have a place for it, which I will get to later. I love Todoist because I can just throw this in and it gets immediately organized into wherever I need it to go on whatever day, in whatever project, in whatever category. It's so easy. It literally takes 2 seconds for me to get it out of my brain and somewhere where I'm actually gonna remember it and be able to do it and get it done. The best part about having a to-do list that is already organized for you and not just something random that you like threw up into your Notes app is that every day you're waking up and you already know what to do. We all have a little plan in our head every single morning of what we want to get done that day and what we're expecting our day to look like. Unless you actually take a moment, even literally just a second, to flesh that out and try to plan out your day and the things that you have to get done with what's already in front of you, everything just becomes so much clearer. I find that it just gives me so much clarity and makes my life a million times easier because I used to do the Notes app thing. Don't get me wrong, I used to do the Notes app thing. I did it all through high school and halfway through college. The problem with it is that I can't really think ahead. If you watched one of my other videos earlier this year about me kind of planning out my writing plans for the year, I talked about how I am following the 12-week year, which is generally just this concept of trying to achieve more things in 12 weeks than somebody would in a year. And the way that it's done is you have bigger goals that you break down into bite-sized pieces. And I love this for Todoist because I can literally break down every single goal that I have, every single area of my life, and everything that I want to achieve into really, really, really small daily tasks. And for me, I'm somebody who gets so overwhelmed. If I have more than a few things on my to-do list, like nothing is happening. Like I'm gonna get so overwhelmed, I'm not gonna know where to start. And so being able to have just little bite-sized things every single day makes my life so much easier, and it makes it easier for me to want to do these things and have the motivation to do these things to get them done. I'm gonna do a little bit of a walkthrough of my Todoist. The way that it's broken down is that there are projects, which are basically overarching areas of your life. So for me, that's usually personal and work. But that can be broken down even further into more things like home, family, content creation, writing. I have a bunch broken down in my business. Like I have one for each of all of my clients. So there are so many different ways that you can break that down. And then under each project is where I would spew out all of the tasks that I have to do. So for me, that's literally as simple as like cleaning the cat's litter, doing the laundry, upload this post for my client, record video, edit video. It's literally every small possible thing, and I love to just break it down as much as I can because it just makes it easier for me. When I'm looking at something, say if we're referring to YouTube, make YouTube video for this Friday. Girl, what does that even mean? Like, it's so much easier to have it broken down into little pieces, and it just makes everything feel so much more attainable. I know a lot of people use Notion for to-do lists and for a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about today. For me, I'm just not that girl. I find that if I'm not actively opening and looking at Notion constantly, I have no idea what's going on or what I need to do. And so I love Todoist because I can put widgets down that I can actually see. It reminds me of things. I can set up notifications. It's so easy to use. It's quick. If you want to learn a little bit more about the 12-week year and how you can apply that to some of your goals, say for writing, definitely check out one of my last videos where I use that exact concept to plan out my writing goals for this year. Okay, moving on to calendars. I am a Google Calendar girly for sure, but probably not in the way you think. I personally use Google Calendar literally just for events and activities. So maybe that's, I'm going to a Bible study this Friday, I have that on my calendar. I had an Orange Theory cast today. I have that on my calendar. Just kind of things like that that I know I have to be somewhere. I know I have something going on. Structured is the free app that I use to actually plan out my day-to-day. The number one thing that I love about this app is that I don't have to use it every day. When I used to try to plan my day out like this in Google Calendar, it really overwhelmed me. I have a Google Calendar widget on my phone. I'm checking my calendar constantly for work. And so it would really overwhelm me if I literally had every moment of the day blocked out on my calendar for things to do. And so I love Structured because not only is it literally so aesthetically pleasing, but if there's a day where I don't want to use it and I'm busy or I'm just kind of ebbing and flowing that day, I don't have to use it and it doesn't stress me out. I don't have to look at it. It's just a great user experience. For Structured, like today I have a bunch of things in here. I had therapy this morning. I needed to write and record a video this morning. Then I had to get ready, drive, go to my workout class, drive again, have lunch. Now I'm recording this video. Later I have to upload stuff for clients. Later I'm making dinner. So I love this. It's so easy. You can literally just go in and add stuff. It's super simple to use. It's very cute looking. They have great widgets, great reminders. It's so good. And when it comes to writing, I have found that Structured has been the most helpful of these apps for me because I can kind of identify where the open spots in my day are and start to add in little sessions to write. And I love that it also has recurring stuff because in the morning I've been trying to set up a new routine of getting at least an hour of writing in the morning. I have a lot of flexibility because I am an entrepreneur. I work for myself and I really want to try to take advantage of that. And instead of waiting until the end of the day when all my work is done to write, when I'm kind of like burnt out and tired and ready to be done for the day, I want to use all of that morning energy and motivation to channel into my writing. So moving on, the next thing is your work tool, which can also be a tool for your creative side hustle, for writing, for whatever it is that you do on the side. This might not apply to you if you have like a corporate job or like a 9-to-5 because you have your own stuff and things that you use for work. So this might apply more to whatever creative side hustle you're pursuing, whether it's writing, content creation, whatever. For me, this is so critical because I do work for myself. So I need a tool that's actually going to manage everything for me that isn't supplied or purchased by a company because it's just me. I'm managing my business, my clients, my own content, my YouTube channel, and also my book. So it's really important to me that I have an actual organized, clean space to store all of that. And for me, that is where Notion comes in. I use it when I'm jotting down ideas, trying to develop them. I use it when I'm taking notes on workshops, notes for clients, and most importantly, I use it to organize and plan all of my content for myself and for my clients. So over the years, I've kind of been slowly building this setup for myself that I really, really love. If you are a social media manager or a content creator, it's so easy to use. I can definitely create a template link if anybody is interested. But one thing that I have to say about Notion is that it can be very overwhelming. And over the years, I would spend so many hours watching YouTube tutorials, wasting money on templates, everything that you can imagine, trying to create like a whole life organization system on Notion. And so all of that to say, I would recommend really take your time thinking about how you want to set up your productivity system. If you're currently just using your notes app, maybe you need to expand and get a to-do list app. If you're trying to use Notion for everything and it's not working, maybe you need to try something else because I personally don't feel like Notion works for every area of my life. Like I said, I feel like it really only works for things that you are actively looking at. And so that's why it applies so well for me for my business and even planning out my book, because when I need it, it's there. Whereas my to-do list, even if I'm not looking at it, it's reminding me, it's notifying me, it's on this widget, it's on that widget, like it's in front of me. And Notion, you can't really have that same experience. Last but not least is the best part of the system, which is the brain dump. I am a thought daughter. I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of things to say. And if I don't write those things down pretty much immediately, they will probably disappear into someone else's brain on the other side of the world. So like I said, events go into my calendar and to-do list items go into my to-do list, business things go into Notion. But everything else that pops into my brain that doesn't have a place to go goes in my notes app. And so in my notes app, I do have a variety of cluttered, unorganized notes, but I specifically have folders that are literally just brain dumps. So I have one for business ideas. I have one for each of my clients because I'll randomly think of an idea for their social content. I have one for my own content. I have one for my book, for future book ideas. I have one for literally every area of my life that you could imagine. And when I think of something and I don't want to lose it, I throw it in there. I also consider my journaling app to be a brain dump. And I say this because I find that when I'm struggling to do something or I'm struggling to come up with ideas for something, it's because my brain is just like full of other information. And by information, I mean my feelings and emotions. And so I use the app Day One, which is also free. And when I'm feeling some type of way, or I just need to like get some thoughts out, I literally just go in there and like word vomit everything that's going on in my brain. I try to do this in the mornings. I'm not always super consistent with it, but when I need it, it's there and it's so helpful. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't work every time, but if you're ever stuck and you're like, you can't think straight, or like you can't get anything done, or you're trying to write and you just can't get the words out, your brain is probably full of other information or feelings or ideas or things that need to come out. So I would highly recommend also having some sort of journal app. You can also, of course, do this in your notes app or even on Notion, but I just have been using this for years, so I just can't part with it. I just keep using it. I also love Day One because there's an option in there to like literally do like an audio recording entry, and I love that because I get a lot of random ideas in the car for some reason. So if I'm in the car and I like really like I need to let this idea out, that's actually, I'm pretty sure that's how I got the idea for my book, and I just need to like let this idea out, I will just like record in the app. You could do that with like a voice memo or something too, but I just really love that feature. But those are the 4 main pieces and apps that I use in my productivity system to stay productive and balance writing / my creative side hustle with work, life, and personal goals. I am also so excited to share that my podcast will be re-releasing this Tuesday, and it is called Annotations. Annotations are basically little notes that you leave in the margins of whatever book you're reading. And so this podcast is going to just serve as a place for me to share stories, advice, and my own experience. It's going to be very thoughtful, unfiltered, and personal, and I'm pretty much going to be talking about anything and everything that has to do with being an entrepreneur at my age, surviving my 20s, writing my book, everything that I'm going through and experiencing. So the first episode will be out this Tuesday about how I am navigating my quarter life crisis. So if you are interested, I would love if you would go give the Instagram a follow. It is at Annotations Podcast. Everything will be linked down below. I'm super excited to be sharing this and hope that you keep an eye out for it next Tuesday. I'll see you guys then.